I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like nah, 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 nah. For my top 10, top 10, nah, nah, nah. This one's for my top 10.
Sounding like everybody else sound, you know what I'm saying, and trying to keep it as real as I can keep it with everybody paying attention and watching. The most important thing, number one, is you got to get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And the way to do that is you have a plan. Because if you got a plan, it's not like just a pipe dream. You have a step-by-step list of things to do to get to your goal. If you don't have that, it's very hard to really have faith in what you're doing. Because as soon as something pop up, it's going to look like the end all. But if you got a game plan of everything you need to do, you know, one thing pop up, well, I still got to do this, and that, so this ain't going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing pop up, well, shit, I accomplished this 2 things. Since my last obstacle, I only got 3 more things to do. Let me keep pushing. Pretty soon, you attained your goal, and then you create another one. But without a game plan and without a strong sense of faith in what you're doing, it's going to be real hard to accomplish anything.
Crenshaw, top of my school was hitting me. He's like, bro, you killing him. You did one thing wrong, though. I'm like, what? He's like, you called it a mixtape. Like, you should have called it your album, bro. You tripped. I'm like, nah, because I ain't want to have a sales history. 50 Cent told me that, man. He like, you know, years ago, he like hustle. He like, regardless of what they say, you in a good space because you never sold the album. So when you go back to negotiate your deal, you don't have a sales history. They're gonna have to comp your prospective sales, what they think you might do. And you from the coast, you from LA, you got a big market. You know what I mean? They're gonna compare you to artists like, you know what I mean, that have sold units on the West. And that's gonna impact your negotiation. Whereas if you go indie and sell 20,000 units, they're gonna base your deal off of that. And I'm like, damn, that's good information. I never thought of that. So I made sure that I didn't go to retail until I did my deal.
Living in a new era where, for example, I don't got cable TV, I watch the internet. Majority of my content comes from on-demand outlets, YouTube, Netflix. This is where I go to get my thing, or the blogs. And I got a cell phone that can connect me to the world like everybody else do. And so I think what that created is what, you know, they call like a global underground. Cause I'm not what you call a mainstream artist. We ain't on every mainstream outlet, but it's a global following, and we can go around the world and see that. And so my thing was to leverage that to create a new type of deal. You know what I mean? That's different than the standard paperwork that they're gonna offer you of being a hot artist that got potential to sell. So my main focus was to leverage the global underground to create an unprecedented type of situation.
Sometimes you gotta take 2 steps back to take 10 forward. I mean, I gotta fall back from having my jewelry, you know what I mean, having my everyday money, riding around the hood on leather and chrome, smoking weed all day, calling the homies up. You got that for me? For sure. Going to pick up 200 here, 500 here, 1,000 here, and that's my day. I had to let go of that luxury, go back to being a young dude that was pinching every penny. Maybe had $20 a day to spend, 10 on a sack of weed, 10 to eat, just so I could stay creative and work. And it was hard for my...
I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I feel good about what I'm waking up doing and about my lifestyle. At one point, I wasn't proud of my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't content with what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't happy with that. So it was eating at me. Even though I'd be on the surface, cool and straight, deep down I knew that this wasn't the direction of what I need to be doing. Now I wake up with the feeling that I'm going in the direction that I'm here for. Like what I'm on this planet for, I'm doing it.
Right.
Bigger than just the LA, bigger than some gang banging, bigger than some streets, just some human shit. I'm doing what I'm here to do, I feel like. So it feel good.
Say the best thing I learned from a woman is just, you know, the power of the heart. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just to see that work in their life and how that turns out. Like my grandmother, somebody that was always kind to people to the point where you might feel like you gotta protect her. Somebody gonna take advantage of her. She's very kind to people. But then I look at how her life played out. She happy. Mm-hmm. She ain't got no regrets. She walk around lighthearted and got a glow at 88 and still kicking and smiling. She not like a product of like meanness or just being...
When it could have been easy.
Yeah, or just like, you know, you be so strategic or so mental, you know, but that ain't what how people interact. People interact off love.
So you gotta take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, the balance. You know, I came from like guard up. You know, I came from like I'm suspect of people.
Hell
yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
I
do you
came
want?
from, the scandalous.
Yeah.
So my perception and my intent, or my understanding of, your
Those
angle.
intentions.
Yeah, I got my guard up. But then what I have learned from not only my grandma, but just, the women in my life is just, the power, like, the heart.
That's to me, I say it a lot, it's just being able to do what you love to do and support yourself off of it. Live your dream and do what you love to do every day. So I'm successful in my eyes, because I don't sell dope, I don't go to work, but I do music and I love to do it. And that's all I had to do to maintain.
I did everything with my process, point A to point Z. I went out and made the relationships with the producers. I took the music into my house, imported it into Pro Tools, graded the shit out, recorded myself, ran from the Pro Tools to the mic and back and forth, bounced it down, burnt it on CD, took it into the street, promoted myself, sold it myself, went into these meetings, articulated my vision to the label, signed the deal, put my first foot forward to the street with my mixtape series. This was all me. So if my engineer tell me, oh, we can't do that, I engineer, my nigga, so you get out the seat, let me take care of that. Or if my team say, oh, that's not gonna work. If you go to Queens or Manhattan or Brooklyn and you wanna go to every high school and surround their high schools and really do grassroots promotion, they know, oh, that's not gonna connect. Well, you don't do it, then I'll do it, because I've done this and I know the effect it has. I think if people been following me, they've been knowing that I'm getting better every time I drop, every time something come out. Even if the project as a whole isn't better than the last one, they see my progression as an artist, and they see me, trying to evolve my craft, and taking my craft serious and putting like, the foundation of like the culture first, like lyrics, the truth, concepts,
bars,
basic rap shit that we grew up
So
with.
come up with the idea to really focus on your core fans.
I think that's one of my natural inclinations, just being a rap fan. Like, I follow artists, and a lot of times I feel like I'm a real core one of their fans, and I get upset when they stray and try to go do shit that's outside of, what I fuck with them for. I understand it because it turns for good business sometimes, but I'll be like, you didn't have to really do that, And it seemed like they always end up coming back to what they fans love them for. So I just thought, before I got in the game, I was like, I'm gonna be an artist that stick to my shit and really represent what I represent the whole way through, or do my best to, and try to find ways within that, to get the big looks and to get the singles and to get the shit that, turns for good business. But I never wanted to alienate my brand for business. I always wanted to keep it authentic and keep it as pure as I could.